Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Tim Sharkey with Title One Realty and Title One Property Management. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the Atlanta real estate market today. I was reading some statistics this morning. That's a tough word. Statistics this morning. It shouldn't be that hard. Regarding the Atlanta real estate market and what we're hearing about potentially being in a bubble, rental prices, cryptocurrency. There's a lot of things going on right now, and I just thought it'd be a good time to kind of share my opinion. I've been investing in the Atlanta real estate market since 2007. Currently, I've got over 17 rental properties that are currently being rented out, and some additional land as well here in the state of Georgia and elsewhere. And right now, what we're seeing in terms of pricing is not only the culmination of a low inventory rate in terms of what we're seeing with buyers and sellers, but also the investment community. We're seeing an unprecedented amount of institutional and foreign investors in the Atlanta market, specifically investing in single family homes. And what that's doing is essentially it's creating a pricing pressure that's pushing pricing up for particularly first-time home buyers that are looking in that $300,000 to $400,000 range. When back in 2010, 2011, during the height of the crash, hedge funds is what I like to call them. Some of these larger institutional investors were coming in and buying a lot of the foreclosures and buying them pennies on the dollar, and they were looking long term. So they were looking at a 10-year span and seeing, okay, well, or saying, if we hold on to this property, rent it out, and get our cap rates to a certain level, and then sell it off in 10 years, what's our spread? What's our return on investment? And they found that to be quite substantial. They came in at a time when real estate was at its lowest point. And in a time that I don't think we're going to see again, when the financial markets absolutely crashed and created a global financial crisis. So, but what's really happening is that they have not stopped buying, and actually, I would say they're buying now at a rate of more than they were in the past for properties that are being listed and finding some of these off-market deals. Now, there's a lot of talk about iBuyers out there as well, and iBuyers have been pretty prevalent here in Atlanta for the past, I'd say, 3 or 4 years. They've really started to increase the number of homes they've been purchasing, and I'm specifically talking about two in particular. One of the larger iBuyers that we all know has decided to pull out of that market. They're going to focus strictly on data, real estate listing data, which I'm sure you can figure out who that is. But that's not stopping them from continuing to find ways to profit on the real estate market. And what I think is going to happen long term is we're going to see some stabilization, I think, in 2022, 2023. We're not going to see the roughly 17% increase in home values that we saw over the past year and 23.5% increase in rental rates. I think that's going to stabilize over the next 2 years, but we're not in a bubble, folks. And that's just, I've got a lot of buyers that, we're considering sitting on the fence. And, I've been able to talk to them about where we're going from an economic standpoint, with whether you consider inflation to be real or not, and home inventories. And, the fact that, home ownership is becoming harder and harder and will continue to be harder and harder for the average American. So it's certainly a case where the investment community has played a big part in some of the price pressures and increases that we've seen in the Atlanta real estate market. But, long term, I do believe that there's still going to be opportunities out there for the investor communities, and there still are, believe it or not. In fact, I would recommend looking outside of just the metro Atlanta market itself and into some of the more rural areas and up and coming areas is really what I should call them. Bartow County, Paulding County, some of the outliers out there. There's a ton of opportunities still, particularly on the buy and hold side, and we're seeing cap rates rise as rental rates rise as well. We're being conservative on our increases because we do have good tenants in place, but we're getting to market value, and that's something you have to do as a landlord. So, I just wanted to get my 2 cents on what I believe is happening here in the market, and I really do not believe that we're in a bubble. I do think we're going to see some stabilization within the market for sure. I don't think that we're going to see another almost 20% price increase happening here in Atlanta. From a national standpoint, it's much lower. It's probably closer to 10 to 12%. So, we're still seeing price increases or pricing pressures go up tremendously, but not to the level that we're seeing here in Atlanta and Phoenix and LA and some of these other markets that have really seen huge price increases. So, with that being said, I certainly will continue looking if you're on the buy side, particularly if you're an investor. There's still a lot of good deals out there and potential to increase your portfolio if you're looking to expand that, or if you're trying to get into the market as a landlord. It's a good time, and that's my 2 cents on it. If you need help with that, or if you want a little bit more information about the market itself, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have my information below, and look forward to talking to you. Take care.